Whenever you're ready, boss.
Okay. Hello. Welcome to the regular Willamina Public Library board meeting. Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
And we are recording, I forgot to say it. So we'll do our roll call. Tyler Crook, present. Capola Napoleon,
Here, present.
Emily Sims,
Present.
Chris Dar,
Here.
Rebecca Rice,
Here.
Lainey Selwell,
Present.
Robin Onstad, Mayor Vicky Hernandez is here. Ross,
I am here.
Richard Gescott.
I am here.
Excellent. We have a quorum.
No. Is there an extra agenda by chance?
Mhm. Don't forget.
Thank you.
All right, we do have some additions to the agenda tonight. Under new business, we're gonna discuss some fines and fees and the CCRLS confidentiality policy. Is that a policy? I
Yes.
didn't write the whole thing down. And unless there's any objections, we'll go ahead and approve the meeting minutes for October 15th. Is that right? It's November
Oh.
19th.
Wah, wah.
Meeting is already ruined.
A correction to the agenda.
We just have a template we reference often.
We have no presentations tonight, so we can go right into reports. Sarah Frost, Library Director Report.
That is me. Alrighty, so I did include some monthly reports in your packet. Since we did not meet in December, I did give you November's and December's monthly reports. Really, the highlights of those were we launched the Return of Minecraft Club and added an additional server this year for our kiddos. We ran our recruitments for our positions and we did hire. And I am trying to remember, I guess when we met last, it was November, so maybe you don't know. I crunched numbers and asked the city for a little bit more staff than I was originally going to hire for. And they couldn't say no. So I did, we have increased our staffing. So new staff starts this coming Friday. Richie will be moving to 40 hours at the library, our first full FTE that the library has had since 2016. And we have brought on Amanda Anderson, who was a summer intern twice. And then I offered her an on-call position, which she's been filling on-call hours since Kaypola retired, or Carla, since Carla retired. And I offered her a permanent position with us. And then I've hired Bethany, who starts on Friday, also a part-time library clerk position. So Amanda will fill out 3 days a week and Bethany will fill out 2 days a week. And then our early literacy coordinator position, which is grant funded, limited duration, 150 total hours, will start on Friday with Aliki. And she will work on that project for us. So we are very well staffed for the first time since 2016.
Wow.
It will guarantee, not counting me, except for Mondays, that we always have 2 staff members on and closing together. And in March, we will be open Monday through Saturday.
Awesome.
So that's the staffing update. Questions? And that's the staffing I have asked to hold on to for the next budget year. next month, I will bring you guys, my budget request that I, submitted to the city this month, because we are on target for the process of, the budget.
And the budget is in June?
Typically, the budget committee will meet usually in May. And then, hopefully they don't need to meet again, but if they do, then they can. So that the city council can approve the budget in June, because it is due July 1, because that's when the fiscal year starts. And it has to be submitted to the state, July 1, by July 1. So what else? Richie held his youth murder mystery, huge success.
Yeah.
We'll be doing that again, not in December. But, it was perfect capacity wise. Richie had a 1-to-10 ratio. We probably could have used an extra set of hands, but that's great because it really gives us an idea if we want to do a bigger program or more programs, how many people to kids we need to have, on hand. So, we'll get through summer reading program with the goal of hopefully after summer, maybe September, October, look at doing another murder mystery, for the kiddos, because they dressed up. They had a great time. It was super fun and engaging. They didn't murder each other out the gate. They were really trying to solve it.
Pushing.
Yeah. So kudos to Richie and running that, fabulous program. Just another
It's
fun.
great.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It was fun.
All I had to do was keep them on track and keep talking in a ridiculous country accent. And but they did the rest. Lawrence did not want to participate, but he also did the best because he was going around and listening as everybody was in character. So there is something to that. If you have anybody recalcitrant, that's, you know, an adult, it's like, I'm not gonna do anything. It's like, go listen. Like, be the Sherlock at the end of this.
What else? We did participate in elementary school virtual field trips. Richie and I sat in on those in December. We had 9 classes participate. We do that right before winter break for the kiddos. I think this was our 3rd year doing it now. We were closed for our annual winter break. And I think there's no more highlights as far as programming and monthly reports go, unless you guys have questions about any of the numbers. So went over staffing, budget plan, I'll bring to you guys in February. There's no really CCRLS updates. I do serve on the CCRLS council. I am the small libraries representative, and I am a voting member. And currently right now we are also going through budget planning. So it's CCRLS budget time as well. So we're looking through those numbers. Richie and I are working on putting together a large yearly program calendar, so that everybody, will be able to see the entire year's worth of programming, up and live, and plus it'll help us. Again, that tells our story, right? Like, look at all the things we actually do here. And then grant updates. Really, the only grant right now is the early literacy coordinator position. I did apply for a Carnegie grant, but it was very competitive, but I still applied for it and didn't get it. And then Richie and I will be researching and looking for some makerspace grants after we get all the staff onboarded. I think that's all I have to. Oh, just kidding. I've got one more. Our occupancy is official now. We passed our final and, oh, hi, Robin. And our occupancy certificate is on the wall over there. 749. So it's official after being in this building since 2008. What happens when you ask the questions?
We had that conversation earlier.
Well, all kinds of good news for the things, so here we go.
Yeah, the ancestors who started this project are giving us a thumbs up from the great beyond, and we finally did it. Okay, then we'll move on to our library board member reports. I think the only thing that I have to report is that I've started reaching out to people for Free Comic Book Day to get that process started for the year. I sent a couple emails last week and I haven't heard back. I just realized just now, so I'm like freaking out that they haven't emailed me back, so I'll get them going. So if anyone has any ideas about Free Comic Book Day or things that you think we could improve on from last year or ideas you have for next year,
Remind me when that is again?
May is the first Saturday in May.
What's that?
May 3rd?
Oh, it's not Star Wars Day again?
No.
That's okay.
May 3rd.
May 3rd.
May 3rd. Want.
Capola,
We are moving straight along and full steam ahead for the murder mystery event. This Saturday is the event occurs. We decided to close sales a little early so that we could fully prepare our character packets, and we ended up selling 32 of 40 available tickets.
Nice.
So, and according to Richie and Sarah, we had additional folks come in upset that they missed sales, so we could have had a potential for 6 more
Three
tickets.
voicemails, all asking where it went.
Yeah, so, but you snooze, you lose, like this week would have been really hard to incorporate these
Yeah.
folks, you know, into the murder mystery.
Well, this way they'll anticipate the next.
Yeah.
It'll be
They're
our first
missing
one
out.
sold next year.
It's
Yeah.
palpable.
we
Yeah.
should sell
This
some
year.
now.
Yeah, free event, free sale. So people are pretty excited. It was great. We handed out the packets this last week, starting last, was it? No, the Saturday before last. And we actually brought in folks who had never been into our library. So that's really
That's really
exciting.
good.
That's
Oh,
That's really
The
cool.
ones that picked up the packets had never.
We had what, 4 or 5 on Saturday, and then we've had a few more throughout the week that have never been to our library. So
How about that? That's
we're becoming a thing.
It's a big deal.
Once they know, they know. And people were shocked with what we have in here too. Wait, you have board games and video games and movies. So it was really cool to see that response. So really my whole brain is focused on that right now. But other than that, oh, we did get was it Yamhill County Community Coalition? YCCC grant, LOL, Marianne applied for, so we have $2,000 that we can spend toward programming for Sarah, so, and workshop programming.
Ooh.
So we're talking about a possible grant writing workshop and things like that.
Oh, cool.
Other than that, we've got rewards. Oh, and Tyler drew up an amazing little library. We're gonna help with summer reading program.
I don't have a really good way to show everybody except to pass my phone around. So maybe we'll do that after the thing.
Yeah, but we made a little mascot for us, and LOL's getting involved with helping with prizes and all of the good stuff with summer reading program. So, any questions for me?
Thank you.
The only question is, how are you guys so awesome?
Well, I don't know. Well, thank y'all. And that's all I have to report tonight, and I will report back about the murder mystery
Hey, when
next meeting,
when's the
Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
Yep, yep, it's all happening.
Is anybody else in here going?
We're all working.
I snuck in.
I'm technically, we're paralegal characters now.
Oh,
I
okay.
created 2 additional characters.
Okay.
Milling
around smart.
What was that?
Milling around smart.
Exactly, because if we played the character that you're supposed to play in the game, then we felt we had an unfair advantage already knowing, since we read the whole script, so,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's really smart.
Okay, Robin Onslaught has joined us. Hi, Robin. Do you have anything?
Hello.
to say?
I don't have anything to report. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
It's like the end of the semester and we're just getting ready to start new stuff, but we haven't figured out what we're doing yet. So
Okay. Hey, how does it sound on your end? We have a new
Garbly.
microphone. Oh, really?
You're kind of garbly, but it could be my ear set too. So
Okay. Well, how about Mayor Vicky Hernandez? Does it sound okay on your side? Okay,
Thumbs up.
Okay.
okay, that's awesome. Okay.
Yes, it sounds,
Any other,
I was gonna say, I finally found my unmute button, sorry. It sounds, good. It is a little garbly, but it sounds good.
okay,
Good.
is there any other reports or anything else we need to talk about? That isn't on the list? Don't think so, okay, good. Continuing business, the photography and video recording policy update.
Was approved by city council at the December city council meeting.
Mhm.
And that is also the update for the security camera policy. So they are officially official now.
Fantastic, we can just plan on doing them again in a couple years. What's the recommended time of review for these policies?
Every 3 years.
Every 3 years, yeah.
I mean, these are that are brand new policies, so, you know, we still have a few more policies that don't exist that have to come into existence. Before starting a calendar for policies.
Well, hopefully we can get them all done,
Yeah.
just in time to start revising.
And 3 years is just recommended, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Look at how long it took us to get occupancy, so.
Look at our grandkids studying this.
You remember the time.
When they used to have this technology.
And the policy.
And the collection development policy is still in progress, I presume?
Yeah, yes, we will say that.
Yeah.
It will be one that starts getting some attention, after I get, staff on. These next few policies, I'll start really hatching out, so.
Then fines and fees for under new business.
In your packets are the fines and fees that were updated July 1, 2022. That is when we went fine free for our reading, audio, and video material. It did not include our library of things. But in preparation for our Friday training with all of our new staff, I was updating this today to make it pretty, and I realized I needed to make an update, and I'm trying to find, here it is, to the ILL fees. So the way it read when we updated most of these fines and fees back in 2018. So all these fines and fees were set by the library board in 2018. And then in 2022, as noted below, we went fine free for books, audiobooks, and DVDs. I have since then added library of things. So technically we have some updates, which would include video games, telescopes, and then just the lot library of things, which would be board games, binoculars, science kits, all encompassing, basically. And then at the bottom, ILL fee update, it used to read 1 item per year for free, and then $5 each after 1 item per year. I tried that once and it was really not fun to track. But then since we do have what we call the Orbis Courier that runs from the college. So anytime I can locate material within pretty much most of the Pacific Northwest at a college, an academic library, I can usually get it here for no cost. But then I created a form for people to request their interlibrary loans if I have to go outside our consortium. And on it asks if people are willing to pay the shipping and handling if I can't get it for free through the courier system. So what I'd like to do is update the policy to reflect that if I can get it through the courier, it's free. But if people want to pay for postage, then they would need to pay the cost of the shipping and handling for such. And that would be the change there. So we would be adding all the library of things and updating the ILL fee as well. And this would require a motion to approve, a second, and a vote, unless you guys would like more time to review it and come back and discuss it for much further. Everything else sits, and I would like to start implementing some of these fees that we haven't been implementing, just mostly because of staff time. But now that I'll have adequate staffing, it'll be a lot easier to really be more consistent, I would say, with implementing fees and fines, so.
Is this something before you request the item, you can know how much the fee will be?
Sometimes, so, and sometimes I'll let the person know whether I can get it for free or not too. So I mean, most of the time their preference is that they only if it's available for free. I mean, I get the library rate through the postage, so I mean, it's not like it's a ton of money and.
Is that like a media mail?
Mhm, yeah, so, but that also just depends on where it's going to, so.
Oh, so wait, so is it possible that so if I wanted to check something out that you needed to get from an ILL, you would be able to know before you ordered it if it was free or not?
Potentially, it would just depend, because sometimes, so I could get an item. So I could put the request in, but say it's available for free from a college up in Washington, but then say they deny the request. And then I have to go outside, like maybe there's one in Kentucky and they've got a copy and they're willing to fill the request.
Oh, okay.
So it's a more complicated system. And there's never actually a guarantee that I can get the item for people.
Is that from like any library in the US?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, as long as that part set up through the ILL system. So, and you can usually search if you go to worldcat.org, and you can do a search. And you can see the libraries in the US that are carrying that item. So like sometimes if I don't have something, I can look it up for somebody and say, oh, the closest library that has that is in Ohio. And that usually prompts the conversation about the interlibrary loan at that time.
How many of those do we do like in a year? Roughly.
Maybe half a dozen. I don't overly advertise it because it's labor intensive on my part. So, where like some libraries, like they have people that do that.
Yes, that's their job.
their job.
Yeah, and it's a little bit more time consuming on the back end too, because those items are in our catalog. So we have to add them a special way so that they get checked out on the account so that we don't lose the inventory. So it's more than just getting the item for the person. There's some stuff that has to happen on the back end to make sure we get the material and track the material as a number as well, so.
Do we want to try to approve this tonight?
Yeah.
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
I think we can do that. So then, does anyone want to motion that we approve the addition of the Library of Things and the ILL fees?
I motion to approve additions to our fine and fee schedule, library of things and interlibrary loan fee.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Ooh, we got five. Yeah. That's where the second should go. All right, so we'll do a roll call vote. Tyler Crook, I vote aye. Kip Napoleon,
Aye.
Emily Sims.
Aye.
Chris Dar,
Aye.
Rebecca Rice,
Aye.
Lady Sawa.
Aye.
And that's all of our voters, right?
And Robin.
And Robin. I always forget
Aye.
Robin.
Hi.
That is unanimous. It is approved and done.
Thank you. I shall teach it to the peoples on Friday.
Okay. CCRLS confidentiality guidelines?
Yes, so these are the patron confidentiality guidelines. And if you look on the back page and it says adopted by him, which is Polk, Yamhill, Marion County Libraries, that's what we refer to ourselves as PIM. You can see that this was last amended in 2017, so we've had this that way for a long time. And when I hire staff or bring on volunteers, they have to sign this form, and I'm supposed to do it yearly as a reminder with my team, which I will be better about. We're going through it on Friday, actually, with my staff. But I thought it might be a good time to also finally introduce it to the library board, especially since we're doing a lot of discussions about policies that protect our patrons. This is really kind of the last stop protection, as it is the patrons' information in the system that is owned by CCRLS, but then it's also the stop of how and who we are sharing information with at a staff and volunteer level. It's almost like if you're privileged enough to know who's reading what or who's using the library how, you now have a responsibility to protect that very important information. And that could potentially at any point include any of you, just depending on your involvement in the library, at the library, being representatives of the library. So what I would like to ask is that you guys can take this with you so that you can read through it and feel comfortable with it and understand it. And then if you could just bring it back signed to me next month so I can add it to my volunteer files for the library. And then this protects us, it protects you, and it protects CCRLS. But please read through it. That way, if you have questions about it, we can have those discussions as well. So any questions right now?
No?
You are all gatekeepers of the peoples and the communities and the library usage.
Okay, so you put down to remind everyone to turn those in next. When you send out the email, actually.
When I send out the agenda, yes, and I'll send this form out via email as well, so that Mayor and Robin can see it also.
Excellent. Future business. Computer use, internet use, Wi-Fi use, policy, no update. Code of conduct policy, no update. Any other future business you want to discuss? Okay. Public input. Do we have any public input tonight? Doesn't look like we have anyone online. Okay.
Thanksgiving turkey.
Yes.
So now we can go over the calendar, which includes the Thanksgiving break.
Staff training day.
Things like that on there for humor, just so you know. That is so intentional.
We should all be thankful for staff.
Yes.
I'm very thankful.
Yeah, anything could be a Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
There we go.
Very
In
thankful.
fact, we'll take one after the meeting. We'll.
Thanksgiving party.
Is that a natural January 24th is a real day off?
This coming Friday, yes, so we'll be closed. I am doing all staff training, so our two newest members, Bethany and Aliki, will start in the morning. They'll get onboarded, and then Amanda and Richie will join a little bit later in the morning. We'll have a very long, fun conversation about policy, and then in the afternoon, they will all get the rundown of workflow and responsibilities and customer service, yada, yada, yada. It'll be a very long day, but everybody will be onboarded and on the same page, and ready to hit the ground running.
And then murder mystery on Saturday. And then our next library board meeting will be February 18th. And unless there's anything else,
And then you'll see I included as
Oh, is this
much
the whole
of
schedule?
them as I could capture our library closures throughout the entire year. I actually always have these planned out well in advance for the entire year. And it's just now I'm finally getting around to including them. So this, and there'll be some one-offs here and there that will be added, or potentially changed, but these are the closures that are planned right now through the holiday in December, to include Thanksgiving Day as well.
Yes.
So now let me clarify, on this Friday.
Mhm.
You're closed, but we're still able to drop things.
Yep,
off?
staff are on site, so
Okay,
it's a work day for everybody, including the volunteers, so.
okay, fine.
It's not.
Just no patron services that day.
Yes. Okay, I think we did it. Thank you all for coming and loving our library. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.